Lane D comes to the line. Trevor Banks, I can see, is right in the middle of the circuit. That's where we give a good start from, and equally so does Trevor Banks. But it's Andy Riley that makes the best of it going into that first corner. Trevor Banks is up there as well. John Boston's on the inside of those two, and it is John Boston that makes the better line round that first bend. John Boston goes down the back straight. Rob Fortune trying to close the gap in fourth place at the moment. But it's John Boston this time a little bit wide. He's allowed Trevor Banks to come through on the inside of him. Andy Riley is still there in third place. Pursued by Rob Fortune at the moment. Those four have got away from the rest of the field a little bit. It almost looks as if there's going to be a change in second. Andy Riley has got through as well. Trevor Banks up in front of him. Trevor Banks again goes very, very wide. Andy Riley's riding a tight line indeed, trying to pick up the power coming up the straight. Dives in tight again into that top bend. Andy Riley is really riding a superb ride on that top corner. That's where he took John Boston, you remember, a lap ago. He looks at those Trevor Banks This is where Andy Riley pulls it tight again. You can see he's coming much, much tighter. Trevor Banks still there just in front as they cross the line, but it's going to be close to the finish because Andy Riley looks to go underneath him once again. This time it looks like he's got him. But Trevor Banks has got the power on sooner as Andy Riley takes his line going down that back straight. A brilliant ride on that top corner from Andy Riley. He's going into the pit bend. He really does look to be on fire at the moment. Looks back a little bit wider this time. A great ride from Andy Riley. He takes the checkered flag. Trevor Banks gets second. John Boston third. Rob Fortune fourth. I think that looked like Nigel Green had possibly gone up into fifth place, but we'll wait and see the result for that one. A great ride there from the very experienced Andy Riley. Picked his moments and took them extremely well.
He's in race one as a misprint as 22, but I'm sure he's got on his bike 300. So we want to see the break going up that first straight, and it is Richie Knight that breaks into that first corner. Well, I say he was leading going into the first corner, but he's now already under pressure. This is the first race of the afternoon. We're with the small 250s, and it is Carl Wilkes that's in hot pursuit of Richie Knight. Those two away from the field a little bit, already opening up a bit of a gap, but Carl Wilkes opening up and going round that very wide bottom corner, allowing Richie Knight to come underneath him again. It's Richie Knight that still leads from Carl Wilkes. In third place is Terry Howe at the moment, but that looks as if it might change on that top corner, as again we see this scrap for the lead going on between Carl Wilkes and Richie Knight. Well, Terry Howe indeed in third place, but Dean Camia trying to change that. So a great scrap going on for that third place as well as that first place. Two riders equally matched at the front, as indeed they are in third and fourth. Dean Camia looks to be starting to get the better of it though, as moves through into a comfortable third place. As we watch them go into their last lap, but Carl Wilkes looks over his shoulder to see that Richie Knight is still close to him. Dean Camia now starting to close the gap on those front two. Terry Howe starting to lose a bit of ground on those front three as they all start to close up on the back straight. Of course, this 250 power also very even. It makes the racing very, very close. And Dean Camia going around the outside of Richie Knight as he goes into the last bend. So as they come to the line, it is going to be Carl Wilkes who wins, but Dean Camia gets second place in front of Richie Knight in third, and Terry Howe finishes in fourth.
So here we go then for the start of the solo Ace of Aces competition here this afternoon. And at the end of the day, we will cheer and we will present garlands to the top performers. Well, Jim has been telling you today and yesterday how tight the sidecars are, and also, of course, how difficult it is to try and even predict a likely winner in the solos. Great racing, I'm sure. Here we go, the first race of the afternoon. Is Jeremy Doncaster going to get there? We're looking to the front. Number 6 gets there. Is Duffy Boss. Up in there in contention. Looks like Jeremy Doncaster coming through. So then, let's pick them up as they come towards us. And Jeremy Doncaster's made it through to the front. Mark Gorham in second place. Marvin Cox in third. Duffy Boss in fourth. Mark Gorham, the holder of the Speedway Star British Masters Championship, up in second place, keeping the pressure on. It's King Glynn in second place, Reading leads, Marvin Cox. Jeremy Doncaster, Mark Gorham with a beautiful piece of overtaking there. Jeremy Doncaster in second place, Marvin Cox in third. So Mark Gorham back in front. And Jeremy Doncaster under pressure. Marvin Cox goes third. Doncaster drops back to third place. Mark Gorham, Marvin Cox from Jeremy Doncaster from Matthew Cross. And they come round towards us, and Mark Gorham going to score his first victory of the afternoon. Victory for the British Masters champion. Mark Gorham wins. Marvin Cox in second place. Jeremy Doncaster in third. Uppy Foss in fourth. In fifth place, Egon Muller. And in sixth place, Christophe Dubenard. So then, following up to our left. And good to see Marvin Cox riding with us, 3 times World Long Track finalist, 6th in 1990, a man clearly with his eyes on capturing that title, 3rd last week in the Battle of Britain. Off we go then, they break. Marvin Cox on the inside, but heading to the fore. Trevor Banks it is who makes his way around the outside of the field of the point. Third place and seeking that second spot. Meanwhile, Trevor Banks on the Golden Parrot RTS heads down the straight. It is indeed Colin White behind him, then Marvin Cox. On the far side. Terrific going through the inside. So to Trevor Banks from Marvin Cox now. Colin White in third place. In fourth place, Andy Riley coming through, trying to get ahead of Adrian Stevens. And he does, he moves into fourth place. So it's Marvin Cox and Cox. Across to the far side, and they're coming around towards us once again. One more lap to go. And it's Marvin Cox who leads from Trevor Banks, from Colin White, from Andy Riley, back a little way to Adrian Stevens, then Paul Pratt, then Adrian Moore battling with number 16, Sean Casey. They come around for the checkered flag. Victory then for number 11, Marvin Cox. Trevor Banks in second place, Colin White in third, Andy Riley in fourth. In fifth place, 374, Adrian Stevens.
Well, before we get race 5 started, I've just had an urgent appeal from the St John's. Those of you that have parked motorcycles in their entrance to the field, could you possibly move them so they'll get into the access? And out of the gate comes Andy Stogan, Lance Maskell. They lead going into that first bend. Alan and John Blewett are up there in second place at the moment. Martin Baker very close to them as well. But it is Andy Stogan, Lance Maskell going very, very wide on that pit bend. Alan Blewett has seen it and dives from the inside of them. Martin Baker followed Alan Blewett. Racing his first of the sidecars this afternoon as Andy Stogan pulls it tight this time and Martin Baker is forced to go wide. Well, Alan and John Blewett still lead at the moment. Steve Jewison now coming into the action as well. Steve Jewison has overall moved through into third place. As we look to the front, it's Alan and John Blewett the lead coming off that top end. Andy Stogan, Lance Maskell are still there in second place. Steve Jewison and Dave Ward in third. Martin Baker and Shane Cowan in fourth. Dave Heath and John Bowkins back in fifth place. They must be finding it hard going on that Speedway mountain. Last year they were coming up here with determined form, and you can see exactly what it's produced from them. The first win of the afternoon for Alan and John Blewett. Andy Stogan, Lance Maskell get second, Steve Jewison and Dave Ward get third, and Martin Baker and Shane Can fourth place.
Well, I think they did this just to confuse me, didn't they? We go now back up a race to what was originally printed your race 4, the 350cc solo first leg event 5. It now becomes race 5. I'm sure it makes a lot more sense to you than it did to me, but there we are, that's what we were left with. So additions to this one are number 9, Mitchell Godden, and number 27, Colin Sweeby. Number 9, Mitchell Godden, and number 27, Colin Sweeby. And that number change, of course, for Keith Cornell. It's not number 4, it's 211. Go up that back straight for the first time into the first corner. We watched them break, looking for number 175, Keith Potts. A very pleased man at the moment. He said to me this morning that I ought to pay tribute to John Godden. He's the supplier of that Godden engine that Keith Potts is racing with this afternoon. Look at the way he's riding it. A tremendous ride to start the day for Keith Potts. Pursuing him in second place is Dave Mears. Neil Scopes is up into third, but that's a good scrap for third place. Neil Scopes has not got it all his own way at the moment. If he's trying to work through for that second place, Dave Mears will be no easy rider to get past for that second place, but ready to go this Godden engine that Keith Potts is riding, because he really has opened up a tremendous gap between him and second place. But there's really quite a scrap going on between Dave Mears and Neil Scopes. Neil Scopes on the outside. It's forced to go the wide way round. He'll try and cut back on the exit of the bend. But Dave Mears holds a brilliant line and doesn't allow him through. Neil Scopes moves on the inside, tries to show a front wheel to try and make a bit of room in this top end. There's a second bank going for Keith Potts. He's going to be close to the line for second place. Dave Mears, head down, hangs on to it. Neil Scopes has to be content with third. Oh, what a great way to start the afternoon for Keith Potts. He's indeed got that new Godden engine, and he said he'd be anxious to see how well it goes this afternoon. Well, there's no better way than winning your first race.
Here we go then, race 2 gets underway, and down the hill they go. Clayton Williams gets a good start, but he's overtaken by Samuel Ermolenko. Up to the inside. Sam Ermolenko goes to the front, it's Marcel Gerhardt. Sam Ermolenko, Clayton Williams as we look across to the far side. And round they come towards us. Sam has a little bit of a moment there, but it's Marcel Gerhardt. From Sam Ermolenko from Clayton Williams in third place. For second place, Sam Ermolenko on the inside, Clayton Williams on the outside, equally close for that fourth place battle. So they come towards us, it's Marcel Gerhardt still in front, Sam Ermolenko in second, Clayton Williams in third, and in second place, and Sam Ermolenko is right on the outside of him. Clayton Williams is hard on his heels, but the leader, Marcel Gerhardt, this flying Swiss, is coming down the hill towards us once again. Joe Street through the second place, and look at the moment there, Sam Ermolenko. Clayton Williams, that's the car coming up into contention there. And it's the car who's moved into fourth place. Clayton Williams takes it back again as it goes off to the far side. Look at the leader, heading for the checkered flag. Marcel Gerhardt, it's the Swiss, he's taken a win. Marcel Gerhardt wins. Joe Screen in second place. Sam Ermolenko in third, and Peter Carr and Clayton Williams very, very close together, just ahead of Oleg Kukushkin.
So everybody get themselves settled down on the far side. They're being called in. One or two people wondering if they can get that, dare we say, a slight flyer on the start line? Surely not. They're not going to be allowed to do that, are they? So they're called into line then. As soon as they're all level, the gate will go up. The gate has gone up. This time they are away. It looks like Roger Measer at the inside looking for the lead. Roger Measer in. Who's second first? Ken Lane. Oh, Ken Lane. Roger Measer. It's Ken Lane who leads. Roger Measer in second place. And in third place, Andy Nourish. So then, number 7, Ken Lane and Mark Edwards. Now this was the driver who said he wasn't too sure about these Yamaha motors. He used to go as like he had changed to the Yamaha. I'm not sure it was a good idea, but he's using it pretty well at the moment. Roger Measer. Side by side, but it's still Ken Lane in front. Roger Measer in second place. Andy Nourish in third. Gary Jackson coming through just to battle his way through to fourth place, but quite a struggle going on for third, fourth, and first place at the moment. Meanwhile, then it's Ken Lane. Roger Measer and Steve Bailey in second place. Now this is where the challenge is. Ken Lane will have that tight inside line. Does this time. Roger tries the outside. He's not going to get there. So it's Ken Lane from Roger Measer. From number 2, Neville Penfold who's come through. Just ahead of Andy Nourish. So Neville Penfold has come through. Paul Randall in the chair. The Tunbridge chair. That's the third place. And here it is. One more bit to go now. Are we going to see any changes? Ken Lane on the inside. Roger Measer hanging on. Something a gap will appear. Has it appeared? It hasn't. Ken Lane wins. Roger Measer in second place. Neville Penfold in third. Gary Jackson and Andrew Nourish side by side, just ahead of Russell.
Hughes is number 15, Mike Fiver and Mike Dowles go for grid 3. Rob Wilson and Tony Miles in grid 1. Mike Cameron and Paul Randall, grid 2. Richard Piggott and Marley Bailey in grid 6. And Russell and Paul Urich in grid 5. So as we look at them, you see those good positions there. Rob Wilson will be right on the inside of the circuit. You see the very distinctive colours of the Rosling on the far side there. He calls up into grid 5. A lot of anxious eyes watching the scene. Richard Piggott gets into that first corner. Richard Piggott leads going in, but he's got Rustling and Paul Urich very close to him. Richard Piggott goes very, very wide. You can see Rustling has taken advantage of it. Rustling goes through into the lead. Mike Cameron's up there in third place at the moment. And those front two come together again. These two as they go into that top bend for the second time. Rustling and Paul Urich's lead. Richard Piggott and Marty Bailey still there in second, looking to pull it tight this time and come underneath Rustling. As he got it, as they go past us, it was very, very close. Rustling dives across his racing line going into that quick bend. He picks up the rest line going around that bend. Those two outfits almost together as they go into the middle of the bend, looking perhaps not to leave any gaps as he comes round this time. Rustling much, much tighter. That was a good corner from Rustling and Paul Urich. Forcing Richard Piggott to try the outside line, but again Richard Piggott follows him through into the fifth bend. He keeps shutting the door, not leaving any gaps at all. This time again tries to pull it tight, but he's gone wide once again. Is there room for Piggott? Goes for the gap, but Rustling gets it. Richard Piggott gets second, Mike Cameron gets third. And Rob Wilson picking up fourth place. What a great scrap between those front two.
But after discussion with the riders and with the class of the course, I can now tell you that race 11, the riders will give you that officially in a very few moments. But the class of the course has asked me to pass on to sidecar competitors that the reason they were taken out was the fact that they were course gunning on the top bend. It won't be tolerated, so please all try and stay outside the flags. We'll continue with race 14 at the moment. Both riders riders have been reinstated in race 11. I'll give that result in a very few moments once we've got race 14 finished, because that's already on its second lap. And we've got some very quick riders again in this one. Harley's put a jacket on to try and confuse me, but I can spot that helmet. Of course it is. Mark Wadsworth that leads from Ian Rutter in second place. And then again we've got some very, very quick 250 riders here this afternoon. Mark Wadsworth, of course, had a win first round. Know that Carl Wilkes didn't manage to win his second ride. So will Mark Wadsworth be the one that cleanly goes through the card. He leads at the moment as they come past us. Ian Rutter in second. Number 94, Jason Stott in third, and Richie Knight fighting his way through in fourth place. Oh, Jason Stott looking at second place and makes it, and then problems for Wadsworth on the far side. So Mark Wadsworth falls down on the far side. You can see how quickly the other two riders closed up to him. It looks as if he's managed to keep the machinery going, but there's problems for him as both the riders that are close to him now, one on the outside, one on the inside. It is number 94, Jason Stott, that's going for that outside line. Well, that was certainly close to the line. And I look across my shoulder to see who was it that hung on to that checkered flag.
Here we go then, race 3 gets underway. They charge down the hill towards us. In the middle is John Bosty, make a good start. Trevor Banks is there with him. It's Trevor Banks. Schofield up to 4th, and Schofield looking to make his way through. Comer seeking that second place. Here we come off the bend. It's Trevor Banks who leads. And Trevor Banks comes down the hill. Steve Schofield comes through the area there. Schofield. Just remember the good races we've seen between these two on this circuit. Trevor Banks then, really flying along. Steve Schofield in second place. Scoey, the most successful rider at the Ace of Aces. The area there still in third. In fourth place is Colmare. In fifth place is John Wilson. On the far side, it's Steve Schofield trying to close up on Trevor Banks. Well, we've seen these two race so many hard races. Trevor Banks in front, Steve Schofield on the outside. Banks is still there. There's a lap to go. Schofield in second place. The area there is third. Banks, he fights off the challenge on the far side. Still Trevor Banks and Steve Schofield. Colmare in third. They come round towards us. Schofield goes again. Banks is in front. Is Banks coming outside and wide? But Trevor Banks gets there. Steve Schofield in second place. Colmare in third. In fourth place, Thierry Allaire. In fifth place, John Boston. In sixth place, Mick Shearer. Behind him, Richard Muss. And then at number 32, Jesse Inovan. Richard Musson, and behind him it's Gary Lobb, then Gary Lloyd, and then Paul Pratt, and then Phil Ashcroft. On the start line, no doubt, a little bit of a problem there. But up the inside, Richard Musson challenging Jeremy Doncaster, but the Reading racer holds him off. So it's Reading from Bellevue. Everybody's avoiding him, so he's okay. It's Jeremy Doncaster then who wins. Trevor Banks in In fourth place, Gary Lloyd. In fifth place, Phil Ashcroft. And behind him, number 81, Paul Pratt. Richard Musson up, and okay, looks like they're going to fire up the machines as he gets a finisher's point.
Race 20 and a chance to see in action again. Rob Fortune, Václav Werner, Mark Seabright. He hasn't gone in his first drive. That does look to me like it's Dean Garden that's broken away. Leads coming off that top bend. Václav Werner pushing him hard. Rob Fortune is going through on the inside. A tremendous scrap between these three. That is indeed Dean Garden, the Cornishman, on the outside, number 16. Didn't take place. Arrived in first. Now here in form in his second heat. Three riders together as they go into that top bend. Let's split them up for you. We've got Dean Garden leading. Václav Werner is in second. Rob Fortune in third. Rob Fortune, of course, had a win first time out. Václav Werner had a third first time out, and he now goes to the front, but Rob Fortune moves through on the inside. A tremendous corner for Rob Fortune. Václav Werner comes back at him now, and goes underneath him, goes to that top end. Tremendous scrap between these three. Which one of them is it going to be that gets to the checkered flag? Václav Werner goes wide. Rob Fortune comes underneath him. Those two together as they go past me and into their last lap. Rob Fortune certainly looked better on this bottom bend, but Václav Werner is a great rider for digging that back turn into the lead, driving it on the straight. That's where he picks up speed in the middle of the straight. Again, he goes quickly into that top bend. I mean, watch those two come off that top bend because it's the checkered flag this time as they come to it. Rob Fortune gets the double. He takes a second win in his second ride. Václav Werner finishes in second. Dean Garden finishes in third, and Mark Seabright in fourth.
We're meanwhile ready to go with race 12. They're already on the line. The riders, of course, include Martin Hagen and Trevor Banks, who are leading it before it was stopped. They get underway. It is Martin Hagen that leads going in that first corner. Peter Lloyd was up there as well. That's number 4, but Trevor Banks has moved through on the inside. Trevor Banks in the yellow leathers right on the inside of Martin Hagen. Those two almost together going up. It's Martin Hagen that leads from Trevor Banks, who looks to go around the outside. He's looking for the wide line. It's a much, much quicker line, but you have to keep the power well and truly turned on. Peter Lloyd still holding that third spot and just getting up much closer to Trevor Banks, as Banks made a mistake going in that pit bend. Perhaps looks for again he finds that line and watches Hagen go around on the tight line. Hagen moves wide. Banks tries to come back underneath him, so a lot of changing of lines going on between these two. Two very, very experienced grass trackers, long trackers as well. And you can see the way that they're changing lines. Trevor Banks trying to go all the way around the outside this time as Hagen holds it tight. And Trevor Banks has done it. He comes round the outside this time with just half a wheel in front of Martin Hagen. But Martin Hagen looks a little bit quicker on that top bend. Hagen picks up a lot of power again on that top bend, but Banks comes underneath him this time, and Banks goes down the line. Banks this time has got the line. Martin Hagen must have seen that. He pulls it round tight. It's going to be very, very close, and Hagen looks over his shoulder. A great ride between those two. A win for Martin Hagen. Gary Lloyd gets third, Peter Lloyd gets fourth. But what a tremendous ride from two very experienced grass strikers, Martin Hagen and Trevor Banks.
Certainly the Russian European champion making a very good start there. So did Will James, of course, but then Will came together with it looked like Craig Boyce on the far side there. Certainly the two riders who went down. Go. Starting team are not happy. Well, I think there's an exclusion for touching the tapes. Here we go. And it's number 12, Craig Boyce, who gets from right up into third place, Andy Riley in fourth. Now here we go then, and it's still Craig Boyce. Back to fifth place. So then, round towards us once again. Up front, he's still in there. It's still from Australia, Craig Boyce from 4-5 from Will James. So then we're looking to see if Paul Fry can close up the tall on Craig Boyce. One more lap to go. Craig Boyce is still there. Paul Fry in second place. Then Will James. He's coming through that. Again on the far side. So then it's Craig Boyce and Paul Fry. And Paul Fry goes for it. Fry goes up the inside. He's got the advantage. Can he take this one? Fry goes for the line. It's Paul Fry from Craig Boyce in second place. Then Will James. Then number 4, Reef Sigdariff. Then number 24, Robert Barr. On now to the finals after those runoffs with race 31, the solo B final, and the highest point scorer, or it worked around the other way, didn't it? Lowest point scorer in the B final gets first choice of gate positions. So we're going to see Dave Steen, Colin White, Andy Riley, Gary Lobb, Richard Musson, Peter Lloyd, Thierry Allaire, and Gary Lloyd. So Barks Bonanza solo B final. And the Motorcycle News jacket to go with that nice prize money at the end of the day. So here we go then. And up through the middle, number 69, Thierry Allaire making a good start, and it's Thierry Allaire who's ahead of the action at the moment and powering down the back. Coming through to second place there. So Thierry Allaire from Andy Riley, and these two already starting to pull away from Peter Lloyd in third place. Gary Lobb coming up into contention. Richard Musson right at the back must have really missed the gate because he's got an awful lot of work to do now. Looks like mechanical problems, and Andy Riley closes up on the leader. So it's Thierry Allaire from Andy Riley in second place, from Peter Lloyd in third, from Gary Lobb in fourth. Behind him at number 31 comes through Colin White. So then the battle's on up there, and Andy Riley closes. So it's Thierry Allaire with the advantage, Andy Riley in second place, and they're very, very close together indeed. Gary Lobb gets up to third, and Gary Lobb could spring a surprise on the podium. Peter Lloyd in fourth place, Colin White behind them. So on the far side is Gary Lobb coming around Andy Riley. On this last lap dash on the bend, Thierry Allaire leads. Gary Lobb's going right the way around the outside. Andy Riley up the inside. Who's going to get there? Thierry Allaire gets there. Gary Lobb in second. Andy Riley in third. In fourth place, Peter Lloyd. In fifth place, number 106, Dave Steen. And then Gary Lloyd. At least that's the way it seemed to me, but let's wait for the official verdict. And an unhappy Richard Musson, clearly with a problem, crosses the line.
Dave Steer also scoring well, 2 seconds for Dave Steer today. As we look to race 19, chance once again to see Rob Cameron, Andy Norris, Martin Baker, Dave Heath, Steve Jurison and Rob Wilson. That's the lineup. As we look to see where they're perhaps coming from, grid 1 is Rob Cameron. As they get underway, James 55 with his spinning get away quite so swiftly. As we look to go into that first corner race, Rob Cameron and Steve Smith, but coming round the outside of them, I can see Rob Wilson going the long way around. Martin Baker and Shane Cannon move through on the inside. Steve Jurison's up there as well, just moving through in the third, but looks to go around the outside of Martin Baker. Rob Wilson is seeing in the third, or does he? Steve Jurison comes back at him as they go into that top bend. Rob Cameron and Steve Smith are the outfit that's got away from the rest of the field, though. It's Martin Baker that's gone after him in second. Steve Jurison trying to pull his outfit a lot tighter as he goes into this pit bend this time. Follows Martin Baker around, looks perhaps for that inside. The outside line. Martin Baker pulling it tight. Steve Jurison going the long way round. Well, might look to change lines, but Martin Baker's rid of superb top corner. There really was an excellent ride from Martin Baker. Gets very, very close to Rob Cameron this time, but Jurison closes the gap. Rob Cameron, Jurison again tries an outside line, but watch the line that Martin Baker takes. Steve Jurison tries to pull it tight and come underneath, but this isn't even there. Martin Baker really did get close on the line, but a great ride from Rob Cameron and Steve Smith.
Mendes going up from for race 23. If you look to see who's coming to the line, Rustling had a win first time out. Martin Baker, second first time out. Number 3, Alan and John Blewett, second first time out. And number 7, Ken Lane and Mark Edwards, they also had a win first time out. So, 2 outfits that won their first leg, 2 outfits that finished second in their first ride. They're joined by Jerry Adams, no John Halsey of course, he's an on-starter this afternoon. But as we watch to see the riders come to the line, looking to see where they've been picked on the gate, Rustling and Martin Baker right on the inside, Ken Lane's right on the outside on the green grass, so he'll be on the grass a lot longer than anybody else as he now gets himself across to the racing line. Problems for Martin Baker, does very, very well to hang on to the outfit and keep it on the racing line, but he had the longest distance to travel, but he's got right to the front. It's Ken Lane and Mark Edwards. Rustling and Paul Urich get close to them though as they go into that bottom bend. Ken Lane turns the power on, drives wide. Rustling goes to the inside line. It's going to be a great scrap between these two. Psychological advantage of getting a win over each other in these early races. Alan and John Blewett back in third place at the moment. Martin Baker in fourth. That's really all eyes on those front two. As Ken Lane again has gone incredibly wide on this bottom bend. Rustling tries to power up the inside of him, but Ken Lane fortunately was travelling sufficiently fast enough to maintain that lead. But still Rustling is right on his back wheel. That's where Rustling looks quicker going down that back straight. Oh, Ken Lane must be conscious of that he's made 2 mistakes already on this bottom corner. He tries to hold it tight, tries to close the door. A brilliant bottom corner from Ken Lane. But there was no way through for Rustling that time as they go into their last lap. I've watched them go down that back straight for the last time in this race. Watch to see what happens on this bottom bend. Ken Lane has been drifting wide in the early 2 laps. He closed it very, very tight naturally, and again he's closed it tight. Brilliant riding from Ken Lane and Mark Edwards. They take the checker flag. They're second of the afternoon. Rustling and Paul Urich take second. Alan and John Blewett take third. And we wait quite some time for Martin Baker and Shane Cann to come round and take 4th. the sidecars, of course, the first time and indeed the first race of the sidecar competition. And what a lineup we've got. Martin Baker, of course, comes in place of Richard Biggett, riding number 9, Martin Baker and Shane Can. The rest of the lineup, Rob Cameron, Mike Cameron, Ivor Matthews, Gary Moon and Steve Jewison. We get underway, and as you can see on the far side, we've got Martin Baker slotting into second place, but it is in the lead Rob Cameron at the moment. Ivor Matthews looking to go around the outside and on that first bend. Gary Moon drops in behind Ivor Matthews and follows him around that top bend. It is Rob Cameron and the lead at the moment. As I say that, it is just at the moment because Ivor Matthews has got right on the outside of their sidecar, pushing hard into that pit bend. As we go down the back straight again, we look for Gary Moon to make a move. Steve Jewison at the back at the moment, moves through into 5th place. Moving up, Watson to come round off that top bend again. Rob Cameron at first bit. Really in control at the moment. They lead as they come past us for the second time. Ivor Matthews right up there trying the inside line this time. Gary Moon now under pressure from Steve Jewison, and Jewison starts to move through on the inside of Gary Moon. Those two together in 3rd place as you go into the top bend for the 3rd time. We look for Rob Cameron again to come past us, leading their field, and a very competitive field it is. All outfits still together at the front. Any one of those 4 could take this first heat of the sidecars. Ivor Matthews again tries to go around the outside on that pit bend, and this time he's up the back straight and he's got the edge going into that top corner. He'll try and cut back across the racing line, but he's not enough room. Driving hard out of that top bend, and Rob Cameron's going to get it on the line, I don't know. Well, that was close to the line. We'll look for our line judges on that one because the front wheels were together as they come across the line. A great effort from Ivor Matthews on a tremendous way to start the sidecar competition.
So here we go then, the big solo final of the afternoon. Steve Schofield versus Joe Screen versus Marvin Cox versus Will James versus Rob Fortune versus Clayton Williams, Trevor Banks and Paul Hurry. What a field, what a race. This is race 33, the Barks Bonanza Solo A final. Here we go then, the revs rise, the gate goes up, it looks like a clean start, we're away, it's Schofield on this inside, in the middle is Marvin Cox going for it, Will James going with him. And it looks like it's Marvin Cox and Will James trying to go for up the far side. Will James leads to the second place. Joe Screen comes through. And it's Joe Screen, in fact, who's in front now as they come round towards us. So it's Joe Screen then with the advantage. It's Marvin Cox in second place. Will James in 3rd. Steve Schofield in 4th. And behind him it's Rob Fortune. So then, Joe Screen, the favourite in the press for the event. That's Bellevue Speedway leading pool because Marvin Cox is in second place. Look at Scurry coming through though. So it's Joe Screen from Marvin Cox, from Steve Schofield, from Will James, from Clayton Williams, from Rob Fortune. And Trevor Banks in trouble. On the far side, it's still Joe Screen way out in front, but the pressure's still on from behind him. Marvin Cox, Steve Schofield in that order, then Will James, then Clayton Williams, then Rob Fortune, then Paul Hurry. And it's one more lap to go, and it's Joe Screen still there, but Steve Schofield in second place. One more bend to go, and it's Scurry looking for second place, coming around the outside. Marvin Cox is still in there. Joe Screen's going to get there. It's Joe Screen who wins. Who gets second? Side by side, Steve Schofield and Marvin Cox, and then Will James, then Clayton Williams, and then Paul Hurry. Well, what a good race. Paul, of course, was right alongside Rob Fortune. Whew, some difficult decisions there. So victory then for number 17, Joe Screen, in 1:30.46 seconds. 1:30.46 seconds. Victory lap then for Joe Screen, the winner of the Barks Bonanza Solo A Final 1992. Let's go through the rest of the results then. In runner-up spot, number 3, Steve Schofield. In third place, number 11, Marvin Cox. Rob Fortune goes by, Steve Schofield goes by, Clayton Williams, Will James. On the far side, Marvin Cox. Well done, fellas, a super.
As we look to race 25, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of eyes on this one. Remember, no Mark Seabright, but 55 Paul Fry comes in his place. That's the change to the programme in race 25, but anxiously we look to see. Right up in the top scoring is Trevor Banks. Well, you might know how the point score is going. It's 1 for a win, 2 for a second. So the lower the point score, the better the position. Trevor Banks sits on 4 at the moment. But Simon Reed must have seen Mark Loram be unbeaten once again. It is Wig Lees. He's unbeaten so far this afternoon as he comes into his third ride. As we look to that top corner, it is Wig Lees coming out, but Trevor Banks is right there. Under pressure as Banks is still on the outside. Is a great corner from Trevor Banks. He gets very close to Simon Wigg. Gary Lord is up there in third. Dave Wright in fourth place at the moment. The rear of the scrap is right at the very front because Trevor Banks is putting Simon Wigg under a lot of pressure. Again, he tries to go round the outside. Trevor Banks again, he tries to go round the outside. And Banksy goes a long way now. Ripped across his shoulder. Together as they cross the line in front of him. Simon Wigg on the inside, Trevor Banks on the outside. And again, Wigg pulls it very, very tight, but Banksy goes for that faster, wider line. Together they go round this bend again. Trevor Banks tries to go wide, and this time he might have got it now. Here's the last that flag goes. Wigg has just got a front wheel in front of Trevor Banks as they cross the line. And Trevor Banks again tries that wide line. It means he's very quick coming out of that top end. He is very, very close to Simon Wigg. This is where Banks is today. He goes round the outside once again. It's very, very tight. I wonder if he's done enough as they come to the line. It's Simon Wigg that gets it. Trevor Banks gets second. Gary Lott gets third. And Dave Wright gets third place. Nigel Green crosses the line in fifth. So it means that equally Mark Loram, Simon Wigg makes sure of a place in the final by being unbeaten. 3 rides, 3 wins.
Next is Ricky Sanford, the rider that's been pushing him all afternoon. He's on 8 points. And Neil Scopes on 10. That's how listed at the moment. The 1, 2, 3. But Jonathan June or Dave Mears could catch Neil Scopes. After 3 rides, we now go into this last ride. As we watch them go into that first bend, it is indeed the rider that leads the competition, number 175, Keith Potts. He goes past us, leading from Dave Mears in second, Neil Scopes in third, and Jonathan Duke in fourth. So Ricky Sanford has been pushing Keith Potts all afternoon. He's place at the moment. Want to see whether he can move on. So looking to go up that back straight, he's up to fourth already. But Keith Potts on this new Gordon Magnum, getting away from the rest of the field. Dave Mears still there in second place. While looking at the point scoring, if Dave Mears scores well in this ride, he could indeed get himself up into that first straight. Looking to see those other riders that are all around there as well. Jonathan Duke was sitting in second place. Duke was in fourth place as he went into this ride. It was Ricky Sanford that was sitting in second. He's got himself up into third place, and Neil Scopes, who was sitting in third place, is back in fourth at the moment, but looking to go past Dave Mears. He thinks Ricky Sanford go past Dave Mears. Oh, it will indeed be the checkered flag for them as they come round, and what a great way to win the 350 event. 4 straight wins to Keith Potts, a brilliant rider in this afternoon. Ricky Sanford, well, he tried every inch of the way, he's got himself through into second, and Dave Mears has got himself into third.
Austin, Matthias Kruger, Borovoj Hadek, Hans Otto Bingle, Paul Fry and Jeremy Doncaster. Well, I think it was Matthias Kruger who lost his outing in one of the earlier races for touching the tape in his first outing. So then, helicopter takes off, so do the riders, down the hill they come. Up in front, Borovoj Hadek. Third place, chasing the two enemies down back. Around towards Borovoj Hadek, on grimly in there. And in fact, up in the front, there is Donkey, back there. He wants to make sure he's in that big money final. We saw him practice going so well, so Jeremy Doncaster clearly keen to do well. Oh, Doncaster in trouble again! Doncaster in trouble in the area. Right now in second place behind the area there. Jeremy Doncaster in trouble, dragging there. So then, Thierry Hilaire, Paul Fry. Paul Fry trying the outside this time, not making it. Thierry Hilaire still there. In third place it's Robert Barn. In fourth place, Thierry Hilaire is still there. Paul Fry tries to do it again. He was overtook on that bend. Oh, look round the outside. Look at Robert Barth. Robert Barth trying to come round the outside. Not going to get there. Victory there for Thierry Hilaire. Then Robert Barth and Paul Fry very, very close together. And in fourth place, Borovoj Hadek.
It's just a question of getting everyone in line behind the sidecar start, and we'll see the rerun of race 34. And then if the positions are different at the end of that race, forever afterwards we'll argue about how it would have ended if the race had been able to keep going. But that's racing, these things happen, and safety must be paramount.
We go then, they're away. Ivor Matthews gating well again. And Ivor Matthews has got out in front, but the pressure's off. So it's Ivor Matthews, Alan and John Blewett right there with him this time. Ivor Matthews around the outside, Alan and John Blewett. And coming up through the middle, then the pressure.
So it's Ivor Matthews, he's still there, he's hanging on grimly. Alan Blewett and John Blewett have dropped back to third place, and in fact look in trouble. It looks as though they're going to drop back again. So it's Richard Piggott who's challenging.
Ivor Matthews then from Richard Piggott tucked in behind. Piggott goes again, tries that inside line that isn't there, and it's Ivor Matthews in front. Richard Piggott in second place, Neville Penfold in third,
Alan and John Blewett in fourth, and then Russelling and Paul Uritz.
and Richard Piggott nudging along there, really looking for a gap, trying to make a gap, but Ivor Matthews is hanging on in there, and Ivor Matthews is still there. So look at this on this bend, who's going to get there? Piggott tries the outside, Matthews on the inside, locks up momentarily, Piggott comes around the outside, it's Richard Piggott from Ivor Matthews from Neville Penfold. Alan and John Blewett and then Russelling. So then, the Masters winners have got ahead of the field. Now let's see what they can do. So then, number 92 it is, it's Richard Piggott and Martin Bailey. And look at the challenge coming on for second place as well, because Neville Penfold's having a go. It's Richard Piggott and Martin Bailey who are going to win. Ivor Matthews and Mick Dow's in second place. Neville Penfold and Paul Randall in third. Then Alan and John Blewett, and then Russelling and Paul Uritz. Results then of an exciting sidecar race. In first place, number 92, Richard Piggott and Martin Bailey. In second place, number 15, Ivor Matthews and Mick Dowes. In third place, number 2, Neville Penfold and Paul Randall. In fourth place, number 3, Alan and John Blewett. In fifth place, number 6, Russell Ling and Paul Urich.
4 riders coming out. Those riders are Peter Lloyd, number 4, Pete Reed, number 71, Paul Hurry, number 86, and Richard Musson, number 773. Out of these 4, only 3 will go through to the B final. Well, when you look at those 4 riders coming to the line, I think you'll realise the class of entry that we've got here this afternoon. This is just to find 3 places in the B final. It's 1, 2 and 3 go through. The 4th place finisher misses out on both the A and the B final. No qualifying place for the 4th finisher. An extra race on our programme to decide which 3 of these 4 riders goes through into the B final. Paul Hurry leads it going into that first bend. Richard Musson dives underneath him. Richard Musson leading as they go round that top bend. Paul Hurry's there with him. Pete Reed in third place at the moment. We thought this might be a race when we looked at these 4 names on paper. Remember, 3 of them go through, 1 misses out. Richard Musson leads. Paul Hurry in second, Peter Lloyd in third, and Pete Reed is the man that's missing out at the moment. Well, we know that can possibly change as Pete Reed goes underneath Peter Lloyd. The front 2 still scrapping it out. They dive into that pit bend almost together. They can almost lean on each other as they go into that pit bend. Richard Musson on the inside. Both these 2 youngsters that have just come into the sport. Richard Musson certainly looking for a great future in Speedway, as equally is Paul Hurry. Had his first adult ride only 4 weeks ago. Indeed, one ride. Very competent riders. Peter Lloyd looks to have lost touch with them a little bit. That is Pete Lloyd perhaps is going to be the one that misses out. The last that flag goes for Paul Hurry and Richard Musson. I'm sure they'll use this as valuable experience. They go down that back straight for the last time in this run. So the front 3 we are going to see in the final. As they come across the line, it is going to be Paul Hurry, Richard Musson, Peter Reed, and unfortunately missing out in that runoff will be Peter Lloyd.
Oh, fabulous 500cc solo final. We indeed got one. Well, we had a brilliant 250 final. We wait now to see what happens in the 1000cc sidecar final as we watch to see, lining up for the final, race 42, the 2 outfits unbeaten so far this afternoon. Ken Lane and Mark Edwards, number 7, Ivor Matthews and Mike Dowes, number 15. They're joined by Russell Ling and Paul Urich, Rob Wilson and Vince Jones, Mick Cave and Mick Stace, and Gary Moon and Jason Glennie. That's how they line up. That's the 6. We watch to see who's got the advantage or the disadvantage on the line. I can't really decide in my own mind whether there has been any advantage on the line, but we watch to see what happens. Gary Moon on the inside next to Ken Lane. Ivor Matthews in the middle as well. So the 3 top scorers together there in the middle. Russell Ling has made some good starts this afternoon. We watch what happens with Russell Ling, but it is Ken Lane that's made a good start. Ken Lane on the inside. Oh, Gary Moon right at the back of the field. We're watching the action at the front because Ken Lane and Mark Edwards have got away with Ivor Matthews and Mike Dowes going after them. Russell Ling and Paul Urich up into 3rd place. Rob Wilson and Vince Jones up into 4th. But as they come together in that bottom corner, we watch to see Ivor Matthews trying to take the tight line. Ken Lane driving hard on the outside, and Ivor Matthews has got close. Ivor Matthews drives up the inside, tries to find a way through on that top corner. They've gone in together. Ivor Matthews found the gap and has got through. He's got in front of Ken Lane and Mark Edwards, but Ken Lane comes back underneath him. Tremendous sidecar action between these 2 outfits as they both lock it up going into the bottom corner. Ken Lane driving hard again, goes wide, and Ivor Matthews comes through on the gap on the inside. Russell Ling in 3rd at the moment, watching the action that's going on in front of him. Tremendous sidecar action from these two outfits. Ivor Matthews and Mike Dowes have now got to the front. Ken Lane has got to do the chasing. He's the one that's got to watch and see where the mistakes are made on this bottom corner, because this is where it's all seen to be happening as we watch them come around that pit bend. Ivor Matthews and Mike Dowes have been riding this corner well this afternoon. They hold on to it. Ken Lane gets close, gets filled in by Ivor Matthews. They go into the last lap. Russell Ing and Paul Urich still there in third place and watching that action in front of them. But Ivor Matthews and Mike Dowes looking great form this afternoon. They go down the back straight with quite a margin on Ken Lane, but we know what's happened already this afternoon on this bottom bend. Not taken away from Ivor Matthews though, he's ridden brilliantly again on this bottom bend and he takes the checkered flag. A great ride from them, what a promising crew they've turned out to be. Ken Lane and Mark Edwards, our British Masters champions, finished in second here this afternoon. Russell Ing and Paul Urich finish in third. What better way to set it up for those fabulous big meetings we've still got to come this year. The International Ace of Aces in 2 weeks' time, and then in this part of the country in 3 weeks, the one not to be missed, the Bonfire Burn Up. Who would you tip to take that this year?